The next chapter is about to begin. Join us live every Tuesday and Thursday for brand new episodes of the American Contractor Show. Our mission is to bring you the latest tools, innovations, and knowledge to help you become the most informed contractor in your market. Knowledge is the ultimate power, and we are connecting you with the most knowledgeable minds in our industry. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss an episode. American Contractors, I hope you're ready. This one's for you.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for for changing from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
Good afternoon, everybody. Live from the Hail Palace, I'm meteorologist Frank Gaetano here with our daily hail forecast. As always, brought to you by Merlin Law Group, C3 Group, and Art of the Supplement Balance Claims. Let's get right into our weather headlines. First up, Northern Plains, chances continue for hail and wind. Not a new story here. It's summer. This is the summer pattern that we're in, so those chances will continue for today, potentially into tomorrow. Up next, what are we going to see further east? Are we going to see some more possible wind, severe wind chances with some pop-up storms out east? We'll take a look at that. And then also I want to talk about Tropical Storm Hanna and my predictions and how this is all going to play out over the next day and a half or so. But let's jump into today's hail forecast. Here's what we're looking at for today. We have chances in the northern plains and then right into the edge of the upper Midwest up in northwestern Minnesota. Pretty low chances for Rapid City. I think things are going to form either just to the east or they're going to form near Rapid City but not really get their act together until just to the east of Rapid City. But we'll have to see. I have a marginal risk there for up to $50, potentially ping pong to golf ball size if that can happen. And then Bismarck, also a marginal chance, kind of the same issue. Things might not get going until they just get to the east of Bismarck, but we'll have to keep an eye on that. And then Fargo also has a marginal chance for up to golf ball size hail. That's because it may transition to more of a wind event by the time it gets to Fargo. But if the storms can stay a little more isolated, the chances will go up for Fargo, seeing up to golf ball size hail today. Let's take a look at the wind forecast map. This kind of matches up with what the hail forecast map shows because these storms could potentially have gusty winds 60 to 70 miles per hour with them. So Fargo's chances are a little bit more elevated for wind as they are farther east, and that will be transitioning to more of a wind impact the farther east these storms go into the evening and then into the overnight hours. If we look out to the east, we are going to see some pop-up thunderstorms out east today. Not a lot of shear in the atmosphere, but there is plenty of instability, so we'll see anywhere from eastern Tennessee all the way to the coast in the mid-Atlantic states, some pop-up thunderstorms going up, and then potentially some gusty winds with downdrafts from these storms as they kind of pulse up and then come back down to the ground. So we have marginal chances for wind in Charlotte and in the Virginia Beach area, basically just because these are going to be scattered storms, so the chances of them getting hit are not really that crazy, but the chance is always there. Not seeing anything for Colorado on the horizon quite yet. Maybe as we get further in the next week we can see, but nothing in the next couple days it looks like. Let's take a look at what the radar is going to look like. This is a future radar, so take everything with a grain of salt. This is just what the models are putting out. But you can see these storms forming down in the Nebraska, Colorado, Wyoming area, and then generally tracking northeastward. Looks like they stay kind of isolated, but I mean, the HRRR has a bias kind of towards isolated storms. So when you start to see it line out, it means it's really picking up on that. So it looks like in eastern, southeastern North Dakota, we can start seeing those storms line out, which is, again, why I was thinking Fargo has the marginal chance for hail and a little bit more of a moderate chance for wind. Let's go over to the east, and we'll see all these pop-up storms through Tennessee, mid-Atlantic states, Virginia, and then you see they don't really travel much either. They just kind of go up and go back down, and these are going to be basically diurnally driven storms, meaning after the sun goes down, we're going to start seeing those storm chances go down as well. Let's look into the forecast for tomorrow. Moderate or pretty low chance for Aberdeen, Minneapolis, and Duluth. This is just preliminary forecast though. These could go up depending on how things play out today going into tomorrow, because we do expect to see some convection going on in western to central Minnesota tomorrow morning, and how that plays out and how fast that dissipates, things of that nature, are going to affect how the storms for tomorrow afternoon and evening are going to be happening in this part of the risk area. And it's kind of the same story for over here in North Dakota as well. Things might form just to the east of Bismarck, and things might line out. We just got to see how tonight plays out and what kind of boundaries are left and things of that nature to see. But let's take a look at what the radar is showing for the future radar. Again, we're going to start seeing storms pop up here in the central and northern plains and then kind of working their way. Let's see, let that run through again. Popping up here in the northern plains, working its way eastward. So it's one of those things where we kind of got to see how today plays out to figure out exactly how tomorrow's going to play out. And we will have a forecast graphic up tomorrow in the morning sometime for tomorrow. But let's get to our tropical check-in. We still have Tropical Storm Gonzalo, a little bit of an update on that. And then also we have Tropical Storm Hanna now, which was a tropical depression yesterday, has been upgraded, and we will talk about that. But first, let's get to Gonzalo. Here's how Gonzalo looks on satellite. A little bit more disorganized than what we saw yesterday, though we do see convection firing around the center of this storm. But that disorganization was not only noticed by us, but also the National Hurricane Center, as they have downgraded the projections for Gonzalo. And originally, they were thinking hurricane through the Lesser Antilles and then a little bit further to the west. But now they've downgraded, thinking it's going to be a tropical storm as it goes through those islands and then eventually start to dissipate into a depression and so on, so forth, as it tracks westward. But let's get into Hanna. Here's the current satellite images of Tropical Storm Hanna. Looks a little bit asymmetrical, but there is organization happening. We can see these bands kind of feeding in to the storm. And then what I also like to see are these outflows up going anticyclonically. So you see like they're kind of pushing this way. That's a good thing to see. It means the storm is strengthening. So we're going to see this strengthen over the next day, and then we're looking at a landfall potential of the Texas coast. So here, let me go back to the satellite here. So right now, the track of Hanna is moving just like west-northwestward, but what we do have here is a ridge of high pressure building in up here to the northwest. So that's going to steer Hanna to the west and then eventually to the southwest. So if we go back, if we go back to this graphic here, that's why the track kind of takes it along this path and then down into Mexico. National Hurricane Center currently is estimating tropical storm force winds upon impact, but my thinking is if we can see Hanna organize a little bit better today and we start to see an eye really form here around the central circulation and it can get stacked and we can get that nice visible eye within the next 12 or so hours, that we could see some rapid intensification as it approaches the Texas coast. So if we do see that rapid intensification, I'm not ruling out a Category 1 hurricane here. And I'm pretty sure the National Hurricane Center has that same idea. They're just kind of looking at how the organization process is going right now, and they're still estimating tropical storm. But like I said yesterday, we could see a Category 1 hurricane hitting the Texas coast if she can get her act together by the end of today and then get that rapid intensification as she approaches the Texas shoreline. But that's going to wrap it up for today. If you want to follow us, you can hit us up on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Go ahead and follow us on all of those channels. And if you want to get in contact with us, 855-334-4245. You can email us at info@hailtrace.com, or you can just go to hailtrace.com, and in the lower right-hand corner of that screen, we have the intercom chat box where you can reach any of our customer service representatives and relay any information or comments, questions, or concerns you have through that venue. For Hail Trace, I'm meteorologist Frank Gaetano. Everybody have a great rest of your Friday.